Hey guys, I'm back. That's right, it's me, Slater Henete. I just want you to know that since I last put out an ad for my book, Becoming by Slater Henete, available on Kindle and e reader, I haven't quite seen the spike in sales I was looking for. Here's the thing. I've written a few commercials for this podcast, and most of them are admittedly for fake products. This one, however, is real, and my ability to quit my day job is wholly predicated on more people buying said product. So listen, you can buy my book. Now, you may be thinking, Slater, that guy's just a dumb alcoholic. And yeah, you're super correct. No one is going to deny that. But so was every other writer who made a lot of money. And listen, I'm not looking for fame. The last thing on this planet I want to be is famous. I just want the money. Like, I just want to fuck off and ride a dirt bike and maybe open a charity to, one, avoid taxes, and two, have that charity support my friends in the arts. Like, stuff like that. If I don't do it carefully, looks an awful lot like tax evasion, which is what put Capone in the slammer. He also died of syphilis, but that's mostly unrelated. What I want is kind of like how being rich works, but like ethically. Please don't eat me. LOL. Like one rich guy and just an absolute ton of nepotism. That's really all I want. I'll probably hire someone to pretend to be me for interviews or whatever because I would literally rather ride my skateboard. Just buy my book. Okay? Doesn't it sound like a better world if you buy my book? It's called Becoming by me, Slater Henete. Just go on Amazon. Oh, Amazon is unethical? You're right. Every second you're not revolutionizing, you're contributing to the worsening of this world. You didn't take to the streets when you found out who all was in the Epstein files, so not ordering my book from Amazon isn't making the world a better place. You don't want the world to be a better place. If you're being honest with yourself, you're comfortable enough. You just want satanic overlords with prettier smiles. If I make enough money, I'll get veneers. By Becoming by Slater Henete, not by Michelle Obama. Becoming.
Hello and welcome to the Dying Carcasses, episode 11. We have Alec here.
I'm Alec.
I'm Jared.
I'm Jacob.
How y'all doing today?
Great.
Awesome.
Absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. You had how many voiceover auditions have you had, Jared? Because you had a voiceover audition just before this, or I guess you had to submit something for it.
One for Amazon and one for Discord. I've done so many.
Really?
Yeah, I've done so many. And considering trying to find like a voiceover coach or class or something, because I feel like there's some thing I'm missing to not booking quite yet. But
Okay.
yeah, but it's always so funny to hear or watch it on TV, like the voiceover auditions I've done. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, okay, I get it. He was pretty good. Like you guys you picked the right person.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Those are like things that you've auditioned for that like didn't book that you heard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha. That's awesome. Where do you record them? Do you just record them like you're doing right now on the podcast, or do you like go into a closet or something?
No, just right here. I mean, it's
Okay.
yeah, I use Adobe Premiere. Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, because I know that's for a lot of. I mean, this is what I've heard, but you can let me know if I'm wrong. But for most people, whenever they book something, they literally just like record it in their own home half the time. They don't even go to like a studio and they just submit it. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, most of the auditions they want you to have a home studio. They're like there's a website called Source Connect that they use so
Mm-hmm.
that you'll actually connect with the director or whatever live as you're recording it, and then record it at the same time, and then they'll just take the.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean that's why I really want to get into it because
Well,
half the time it pays more than commercials.
yeah. Well, and I'm
And
sure
you can
that's why
stay
it's
at
so
home.
lucrative and why so many people want to get into it because it's like it's literally something that you could just do at home. It's crazy.
It's so nice. One day.
Yeah. How you doing today, Slater?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Tired, but I'm all right. Life's good.
Cool. And then Jacob, your show this weekend is the last weekend.
Yeah, both the shows I'm working on right now close this weekend.
how does that work for you? Like when you're, because obviously as a director, I guess you're not directing the one of the shows, but as a director, do you try and be there every performance?
No, I mean it would be nuts. I would, and maybe a lot of directors can speak to this, but I'm riddled with so much anxiety that something's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
That I'm like, why would I be there? They got it. They have it handled. Why do I have
Well,
to sit and watch the show that I've watched 80 million times
yeah.
already?
Well, and I feel like that's half the
Continue.
time where you're like, well, my job's done. Like the show's on. Like that's it. Like I don't got to be there. And so,
I mean, I feel like, and more people can speak to this than me, maybe, but if in a real world, I would go to opening and then never go again unless someone new was being brought into the project to replace
gotcha.
someone. Then I would
That makes
probably
sense.
like show up again. But I would also just leave it to the stage manager to have that
Yeah.
handled and figured out. So
Yeah. A couple
blessings
of
to
the
all the stage managers out there, because you guys
Yeah.
have to watch the show every single time.
Yeah, because when I worked on a show in LA as an assistant stage manager, it was a very similar dynamic. Like the director wasn't really there for the performances because it was like a 4 weekend run or something like that. But yeah, we were there every performance, and we were essentially the person like running the show essentially. And so, are you going to be there tonight? Because I was thinking about I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but possibly going tonight or
I'm going to Greece tonight.
okay,
Greece, I'm a bit more hands-on because I'm managing students as well, so it's more of a hands-on project.
gotcha.
And then for the Pact, I probably won't go until closing.
Okay, gotcha. And closing Sunday or Saturday?
Closing Sunday.
Okay, gotcha.
And
Cool.
where's the pact at?
The Pact is at the Hermosa Beach Community Center's second story theater,
Nice.
where we did that little show called, what was that show called?
Almost Maine.
Almost Maine.
I do like
All right.
that little theater space. It's a cool spot.
Intimate. Yeah, it was fun to perform in. I like the intimacy of it for sure. All right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and get into it for the day. What's good? What have you guys been watching, listening to this past week? Anything you guys want to touch upon? Anybody want to go first?
There's a show on, I think it's Hulu or Apple, Disney, called Paradise. It's a really good show. They're crafting the story really well, and I'm not the biggest. Before this, I wasn't the biggest fan of Sterling K. Brown in This Is Us specifically, but I feel like the writing did him dirty in that one more so than like him actually as a performer. In this one, I'm pretty captivated by him, so I stand corrected. Sometimes
Nice.
it is bad writing that can make an actor bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never watched This Is Us, but I always really liked him, and maybe that's why I never watched him. I never watched that show, so.
Yeah. I mean, the show is good for a while. I think that the character just went in a direction that I didn't feel like represented the character well. But anyway, that's a different show another time. But yeah, Paradise. It's really
What's it about?
I started that.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
I haven't heard of it.
I actually don't really want to tell you what it's about because
Okay.
I want you to go through the first couple episodes to discover what it's about, if that makes
What's
sense.
What's the genre? Like what category would you put it in?
If I told you, it would also
Oh, come
ruin
on.
the surprise.
Come on.
I mean,
Okay, fine.
I could say maybe what I want to say sci-fi, but not.
There's sci-fi elements to it. There's
You
sci-fi
are-
elements to it.
You spoiled the whole thing, Jay.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
This is like Pluribus,
No, 'cause I
our
wasn't gonna say that,
conversation
but
on
it's like-
Pluribus all over again.
Oh, Pluribus.
That's a good first episode.
Yeah,
I watched it.
nice.
That was a long time ago.
I know I haven't caught up to that one either. I'm so behind on my shows.
Yeah.
It's okay. I sit in a lot of LA traffic, and you're not legally supposed to do this, but I do put TV shows on.
Dude, I'm so happy you said that because I do that too. I do that too, bro. I'm so happy I'm not the only one.
Yeah, whenever Taylor and I have to drive across the country or whatever, we got those long stretches of road. We just put things sideways. We're watching TV, baby.
Dude, yes. Oh, my heart is warmed.
If one of us are going down, we're all.
And I
going
mean, it's
down.
not like I'm sitting there just like watching it. I'm not
yeah,
just like
it's just on.
Yeah,
You know?
it's just on.
Of course.
It's
You
like a
peek over every
podcast.
now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I love
Yeah.
that. Dude, I thought I was the only one watching
No
Avatar
way, bro. No way.
across New Mexico.
It's actually everybody. We're all doing it.
You just have to remember to turn it down when you get close to somebody and their windows
Yeah,
are down.
yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
oh boy, I'm not
That
watching
reminds me
Bob's
of-
Burgers.
That reminds me of the fucking Office Space moment where he's like playing and singing along to rap music, and then he pulls up
Yeah.
like up next to a black guy, and he's like,
Yeah.
Everyone's just in traffic, like no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Somebody looks over
Swerving,
at the
like-
wrong time and gets road rage, starts shooting at you like it's LA freeways in the 90s.
I don't know. You guys, or at least Slater might judge me for this, but I actually enjoy Marvel projects. Like I watch the Marvel movies and shit like that. And so the most recent one. Now, granted, I will say that this is kind of like how I recommended Wonder Man a couple weeks ago. This one I think is one of the more widely attainable Marvel projects, but season 2 of Daredevil Born Again just started this week. And did you guys ever watch like the first time the series was on, when it was on like Hulu or something like that? Did you ever watch it?
Do you mean the Born Again one or the like
The
Daredevil they
original.
just remade?
The original with Charlie Cox, but like the first 3 seasons before Born Again.
I also love the thing I just said. The original that they just remade. Yeah, no, I watched the first round of it.
Okay.
Second round of it. They've made Daredevil like how many times? So many times.
Well, as a series, this is the only time they've done it, between like the first 3 seasons and now Born Again. But before that, I guess.
oh right, because it was just movies, right?
Yeah, it was just Ben Affleck's movie, I think. But did you watch it, Slater, Jared? Daredevil series at all?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, because honestly, I think you guys would enjoy it personally. Like it's really well done. It's visceral is like the best way that I can describe it, because the action sequences kind of remind me of John Wick in a way, where it's like really well choreographed action fighting sequences and stuff like that. Like there's a couple scenes in the first season specifically that are really well shot, really well performed. And Born Again is also, which is like the next series that they did, that started last year. And the first season of that was really good. I think it was not as good as it could have been, because you could tell that it was filmed by, I think it was like 2 different showrunners or directors or something like that. But like they shot it and then they did a bunch of reshoots, and you can kind of tell that they like threw in reshoots here and there and like where they could play. Where this season they're only on the first episode, but they're actually able to make like one cohesive story with it, like start from scratch and build it. So they're dealing with less reshoots and stuff like that. But no, like the first episode of season 2 was really good, and it's really fun. Honestly, just like not just like the action sequences, but also like the political drama behind it, and it also deals with like, it kind of touches upon like mental health and like, oh, what mental area are you in to like dress up as like a masked vigilante and stuff like that. It kind of touches upon that as well. But the story behind season 2 is that like Wilson Fisk, who's the kingpin, is mayor of New York, and he's basically declared martial law against masked vigilantes and everything. And so he has like it's almost politically topical in some ways, actually. And so just because there's like this brutal task force that's like rounding up masked individuals and like beating the shit out of them and killing them without any oversight. And yeah, it's really well done though, just the way that it like portrays that kind of stuff. And so
That sounds interesting. What is the mayor's martial law logic? Why does he want to?
because he doesn't
mass
like mass vigilantes. He feels that they are, I mean, for him it's like a personal thing where it's like like, oh, they're pieces of shit who put me in jail, and his narrative behind it is they're able to do whatever they want and they're terrorists, and they, you know, can destroy shit, but it's basically a narrative that he's building up against them that isn't true, essentially. But he's a
Got it. Okay.
And he's
That's
like a
'cause-
man of the
he's a
people.
classic villain in Marvel.
Yeah,
He's even in Spider-Man as well. So.
yeah, and he's played by Vincent D'Onofrio. Fantastic.
Oh, great actor.
Jared Slater.
I guess two things. So after the reality TV discussion that we had, I wanted to find something that I thought I would like, and I forgot that there's this guy named Lucky Costa who has a TV show called Hot Rod Garage. So I watched a little bit of that, and there's no fighting. The people seem nice, and they build cars, and it's very cool, and it's exactly what I like. But other than that, no drama at all. But other than that, I took my bow and arrow out this weekend, and did a little shooting as well, and it was just nice to be outside and
Nice.
doing that instead of working for a few hours.
That's awesome, dude. Jared.
I have not done anything but work and rehearsal. I think I worked the last 6 days straight, and they tried to make me work today. And so, yep.
Oh, that's right. Well, you said that it's a spring break right now, so you guys are like super busy. Is that why?
Oh no, just few people took time off, so we're pretty tight staffed. I wouldn't say short staffed, but 2 people take time off, then everybody else is working like every day. And yeah, it's crazy. My boss did the math about like how many people can come in like in the 8 hours or whatever we're open. It could be like 1,200 to 1,500 people. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like line out the door all day, but we're making mad tips. But
That's good.
it's just a lot of work. Yeah.
That sounds overwhelming at a certain level.
Yeah, because you get some regulars, very few. Then you get all these new people. Like they walk in and they don't know how to. They've never been to a restaurant. They don't know how restaurants work. Do you guys take money? How do I? Where do I pay? What is that? What's that? What's in this? And then they don't order any of it, and they just come in for a black coffee, and it's just like, why are you wasting my time, my energy?
Just stepped off the spaceship.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's insane. And then people will cut the line, and they're like, "Oh, I just want to get a pastry. I just want to get a cake or coffee." And I'm like, I don't know,
everybody else.
Everybody else. Can I just cut everybody? Yeah.
Is the place big enough to like restructure it so that it's like you could have if that is the problem and there are lines out the door, can it be restructured so that it's like there's more than one line for people who like know what they want versus like it's coffee, this is pastries, or like do it how Porto's is and there's just like 7 lines?
I think they could. I honestly think if we got one of those like portable, card readers and stuff like that, like another one. We have one, but if we got another one and kind of did that, or just do a freaking in and out and go outside and be like, but that would be annoying too, and we just need more staff, and then we also would lose tips because then we have more people working. Right. I don't know. There is a way. I know there's a way, which is kind of frustrating, but I think the line brings people in. I think people like looking at long lines and going, I want to stand in that.
It's true. I mean, it tells people that there's something worth standing in line for. It's very, very weird. But, it's like one of the things when I was running the shop, we would just drag cars that had been in the back for years and just pull them up front if we were having a slow day, and we would get busy. It's very odd.
Interesting.
It's very odd.
I just think everywhere should be how like Disneyland does Soarin' over California, where you have to sit in a line and watch a video of like Patrick Warburton just like explaining to you the process. Yeah, I'm like, we can do that.
Let's just hire Patrick Warburton everywhere. It would give him work. He'd never have to work again, and he could just be the world's voiceover artist.
The world. Yeah, we still have to deal with those people who go, Is your vanilla latte sweet? and I like
Oh, so dumb.
it just breaks my brain. I'm
Just
like,
dumb.
how do you're messing with me, right? Like this is a joke, right?
These people just want bitter vanilla. They're
Right.
like, whatever that flavor is.
or the
Or
the
They're
ones
like,
who have never ordered a coffee. Like, what's a latte? What's a cappuccino? I'm like, dude, you have a
Or-
phone. Google. Just look it up. Don't ask me. You should know
or
this.
can I get a macchiato?
Oh,
And if you look at the right, if you know,
you know.
Yes.
do you mean a
Yeah.
caramel macchiato from
Mhm.
Starbucks? Is that what
Yeah.
you mean?
Caramel
Or do you
macchiato,
want a
latte
macchiato?
macchiato, cafe macchiato.
I love doing it because I'll have the whole conversation with them sometimes. I'm like, it's 2 shots, a little bit of fun. Like, yeah. And I drop the cup and they just stare at it.
This isn't my order.
This is it. Yeah, it is. But okay. And they slunk off. I'm like, oh, make your stupid caramel latte. Come over here. It's the only way you'll learn.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick little break, and then when we come back, we'll get into our main topic for the day. Kerrygold butter. Italian food isn't so bad. French food is just fine. American food will sniper your sphincter in your sleep, but it's pretty good. When you're eating these meals, the best of them are the ones that uphold the standard. Have you ever had bad Italian food? Well, if you've ever had Stouffer's lasagna, you've had bad Italian food. Listen, here's the thing. The worst Mexican food costs $3, and it's better than the best lasagna you've ever had. In a normal people cooking competition, Mexican food will always win. There's more flavor, there's more texture, there's better use of meat, veggies, and carbs in every Mexican dish than in the top 3 of any other dish in the world. You get to knock off ingredients from Timu, and that Mexican food would still warm your heart and enrich your life. You ever had El Burrito Jr.? LBJ's sucks, and it's still better than whatever fancy-ass $500 a plate-ass bullshit fancy food shit you're eating. Even Anthony Bourdain's mortadella sandwich costs like $20 to make at home, and it's not better than the worst chili relleno you've ever had. Scrap the rest, kids. Just because you grew up on Kraft mac and cheese doesn't mean you can't develop a real taste bud. Let's be adults. The real winner is Mexican food. The runner-up is probably Thai or Japanese, by the way, but it's not whatever flat-assed white people famine food you people are heralding as the best. Flan is pretty gross, but we don't talk about flan. But Irish butter is the best. This ad is brought to you by Kerrygold Authentic Butter. But Kerrygold, it goes great with Mexican food.
I agree. I agree with everything you just said, Alec. And I'm glad you just said that off the top of your head.
I will say,
thank you. Thank you.
on a side note, I love LBJ's, and I am sticking by that. So,
Avatar: The Last Airbender. Stop. No more. You can hire the studio that did the original or the studio that did Korra, but stop making this live action. It doesn't need to be live action, you greedy whores. It can just be a good show and good books and good comics because it was all of those things. But since then, it's just been a total scat show ever since. We don't need to see real people doing things in this universe. We definitely don't need to see all Avatar: The Last Airbender in the gray wash, dark, whimsy, murdering world of contemporary cinema. It will never, ever make the series better unless you write a whole new series in the universe that's meant to be set in physical material space. This is brought to you by STOP, which stands for Stop Doing Live Action Avatar: The Last Airbender stuff. Tatas or Poon. But only the first part is relevant for this ad. Stop. Just stop.
the hell?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
All right, and welcome back. Today, for today's topic, we are going to be talking about technology. We all deal with technology on a daily basis, and it's crazy how much it has changed over the last 30 years. None of us have any experience professionally with technology in like the scientific field specifically, but we all deal with it on a daily basis. So, I'm just going to ask, is advancing technology both our savior and our doom? I'll be honest, this question was something I threw out because it's a line from Frozen 2 that Olaf says.
I'm getting off.
I honestly wasn't expecting that. I need to. Do you guys know the fable about like John Henry?
Remind me.
How he was like born with a hammer in his hand because he was a railroad guy.
Oh
That's
yeah.
how I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. We all watched Disney
That
Legends
Disney short.
2000.
Yep,
Yeah.
I remember
I
that.
don't.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
why
I've
I
seen it.
remember it.
I feel like that's kind of how I was born with like technology. It's like I could touch it and just kind of like understand it at a certain level. And my parents don't have access to that kind of relationship with technology. So I get to be the tech of the family.
Do you think that's why, because we grew up in the 90s and when like technology advanced so vastly? Because I think that's like always been a big conversation, is the fact that like millennials specifically, they grew up in the technology age and saw the transition from like limited tech to advanced tech, that we are more inclined to understand technology. Do you think that has something to do with it? Because I feel the same way as you do.
I think so. I think we got access to watching how something was built more than just seeing the final product, which is kind of where most of Gen Z and Gen Alpha are at. They just like they handle the final product, but we got to deal with Microsoft Paint, you know,
Yeah.
and like play with that
Minesweeper.
and figure out we Minesweeper, but we would end up on the coding end by accident because things weren't protected enough. And so it's like, oh well, what's this? And then it's like, oh, A plus B equals C for us.
Were you
Where
guys ever
everyone's
one of
just
those
like,
like
I end up at
MySpace
phone.
coders where it was like you had to code? Did you guys have a MySpace? Let me ask that to
Yeah.
start.
Nope.
I had a
Nope.
MySpace on the last day.
Gotcha. So, so Jared, this is more for you and I then, where like MySpace, you can literally like put in coding to like edit your profile page and shit like that. That
Yeah.
was wild. Like you couldn't do anything like that with Facebook at any point, really.
No.
But MySpace, it was literally building it from scratch. Like you put in a specific coding and it can change up the entire like theme of your profile.
Was it just, were you just using HTML?
Yeah, just HTML.
Essentially,
Okay.
yeah.
I think some people
Nice.
probably knew how to do, more advanced stuff, but like
I think so
honestly, I don't
too,
even
yeah.
know how much you could do. But yeah, you'd put like a cool music player icon thing, and you'd play music on your page, and you could have your face scrolling through the page or doing little sparkles, whatever. Like you could do anything you want to
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
which was really fun, but also just, it was always intimidating when you go to someone else's page and you're like, dang, dude, like this is sick. Like, how did you do that?
That's like how people feel playing like what's that villager game that was on
Sims?
no, well
Wait.
that too, but like the Sims world, the Animal Crossing,
Roller
the
Coaster
when
Tycoon.
people go to like roller coaster tycoon, when people go to other people's lands, you're like, oh, that's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Damn,
That's
I
funny.
suck.
Yeah, I'm very happy that we are millennials, because going from playing outside to like, just playing inside all the time on video games and stuff like that. And then playing video games before there was really like even online access, you can yell and scream at other individuals. I don't know, just to see it all come together, but then having that awareness of like, it wasn't always like this.
Yeah, I think there's something to the idea that knowing that the technology isn't sort of like innate.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the things, I guess this would be Gen X, but like in the 80s, they were making cars that were basically all the componentry was modular. So rather than fixing or repairing something, you would just like take off a chunk of parts and then reinstall that same chunk of parts, which, made a lot of diagnostic techs really, really lousy. Like it's why it's kind of hard to find a diagnostic tech that is older, Gen X older. Um, but I don't know. The technology comes and goes in waves because, like Jacob was saying, I think we had a lot of access to accidentally stumbling upon how these things work,
Mm-hmm.
which permitted us a degree of competence.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with these things like programming or even building computers, that was like a specifically a
Yeah.
millennial thing, was building
Yeah.
Yeah.
computers.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it did kind of start with Gen X, but there's everything is very shut down now. Like everything is very uh, insulated, well encased. So you can't really see inside of it. You can't really see how the sausage is made. So I don't want to say it's Gen Z's fault. I think it's manufacturers' fault for
Yeah.
making their shit better. I like
Mhm.
technically making it better,
Hmm.
but it also alienates you from the actual product itself, so you don't really know what to do with it. Like iPhone is a perfect example of that.
Mhm.
I have no idea how to work this stupid. Well, no, I know how to work it, but like I don't. The inside of it is a mystery. So
Mhm.
I had a I guess this is kind of a weird thing about when the time we grew up, but I've worked with people, and people have been my teachers are people who wrote the internet
Hmm.
and like how it works. And I'm like, oh, that's just like a weird niche thing to have in
Yeah.
our wheelhouse of like we cross over with people who figured out how to connect with other people.
Yeah, I feel like that's the funny thing about the internet is like I feel like I saw something like a meme recently or something like that where it was like someone was calling out a millennial because they were born before the internet. Like, damn, you're old. And like at least the internet as we know it today, like some portion of it might have existed before we were born, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
insane.
yeah, it did. It existed before us, but it was like strictly specific types of like government communication or
Yeah,
corporate communications and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I did want to kind of go back
the
to what you
World
were.
Wide Web.
Yeah, yeah. I did kind of want to go back to what you were saying, Slater, about your iPhone. Like, how does this fucking work? That was actually something. What I thought about was back when Macintosh first made their computers. One of the reasons why they weren't super popular among those who typically use computers was because they were designed in a way that you couldn't change or edit stuff like you could with like PCs and stuff like that. And because of that, that's why it wasn't super popular among those who were coders or use technology for work and that kind of stuff. And I mean, arguably, you could say that that's what led to a lot of Apple's success is the fact that it was more of a marketing like win for them because they literally marketed it for the general consumer, that kind of thing. But that's
Mhm.
why even today you can look at like a fucking MacBook Pro, you can look at an iPhone, you can't do anything to it. It literally is what it is, where like, PCs you have like full free reign, especially, talking about building computers. You can literally build one from scratch. You could not do the same thing with like a Macintosh or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Where Apple, the reason Apple is effectively the winner of the whatever that race would be, is because they took des- they put design theory over modularity or consumer free will effectively.
Yeah.
Um, so their whole thing was more about design and it being comfortable.
Would you
But
say
yeah,
they're the
I
winner though?
actually
Wouldn't that depend on who you ask?
No, they're definitely the
no,
winner.
they're the winner. Yeah, I mean,
How do you
other
well,
people like
how do you categorize it?
non.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah, they're yeah, exactly. They're at the top of the food chain as far
When it comes
as
to
sort of
retail,
consumer
yeah,
tech
but
goes.
overall, I feel like most people, like if you're looking at overall financials, you can look at like government contracts and shit like that. I don't know, as far as like government work and all that kind of shit, like stuff that actually makes like substantial money, most people in like the business world, they use PCs more than they use Macs. Wouldn't you say that?
Mhm.
In the business world, I don't know. I mean, that's still. I think that would still be the retail market. But if you're referring to things that are happening, but like behind the scenes, or oh, you mean in the business world of like, you mean, yeah, behind the scenes, effectively, like
Yeah.
Information and setup,
information
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and all that. Yeah, no, I think that's true.
They
But in the retail market, yeah, Apple's definitely one.
That's fair.
probably have PCs at the business places, but they probably still have iPhones. Like
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
that
know.
too. I think that's a significant aspect as well.
I would say the public trusts Apple more, whereas for businesses, they don't need the same sort of security that people want
Hmm.
or think they have. And so there's the personal product, which is the Apple, and then there's like the professional products, which are like Microsoft and
Yeah.
all of that Samsung stuff.
Jacob, you mean they trust the brand, not the company, right? Yes,
Correct,
I agree
correct.
with that.
Exactly. Yes.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. Microsoft, I will say they do have. They've got. I mean, Excel. That's got to be a great sales
Sounds
point for
great.
them.
I use Excel
Word.
every day in my job.
No, I do too. It's Excel. Well, I should say I used to. Excel is fantastic.
And they have the big search engine. I mean, they have Google, so
Yeah,
Mhm.
they got the Goog.
they got the Goog.
So I guess moving into the next question, I think I know all of our answer, but what are your thoughts on AI?
From an artist perspective, I really hate it. From an I need to get shit done and I don't have the time, it's fantastic.
What was the question?
What are your
What
thoughts
do we
on
feel about
AI?
AI?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I hate it. Yeah. Yeah, I think AI just came in and hacked you because it couldn't. It just, what are your? And then that was it. It's crazy. Yeah, I hate AI for sure, for sure. There's nothing good.
I wouldn't say nothing good personally, but I would say it's kind of just like a little it's like, ooh, you get to have this tool that is somewhat helpful. But I mean, we use AI too when we're now just doing basic Google searches.
Yeah.
So it's just
But
Well,
that
whether they want us to or not, it literally is like not a choice. AI just fucking happens when you Google search.
I was gonna speak to that too because I feel like that's another thing millennials have. We know how to Google stuff. Like if we're really
Damn straight.
trying to figure something out, like I've just dealt with some other Gen Zs and I'm like, dude, just Google it. And like they don't know how to frame a question well enough to get the right sites, you know?
That's
And
true.
AI is
Yeah.
not better than me. Every site it shows me, it's like, dude, garbage. Like, let me get out of here, you know?
Mhm.
can I
I don't
talk
know.
about what actually helped me figure out how to frame a question, how to put inserts into Google
Yeah.
is library systems.
Yes.
Yes.
Going to the
Yes.
Yeah.
library,
Yeah.
needing to like use a library database
Mm-hmm.
really helped because I was like, it's the
Absolutely.
same coding.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And it's
I
like,
was.
okay, the reason you put in a colon here, the reason you put in a slash, the reason you put
Yep.
in whatever these things are is it denotes how
Yes.
the system is taking and searching for that information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now with AI, that's kind of become irrelevant. But
Yeah.
I don't
that's
think
how
so,
I.
but it
Well,
depends.
I mean, so yeah, you just have to. I don't know if it's become irrelevant, but you just kind of have to scoot past the first like half page to get to what you're actually looking for.
It's true. It's true. That's true.
No, but I think I mean, so Jared, actually, all of you, um, talking about like learning how to frame a question for Google or whatever. There's whole classes now on how to prompt AI, right? Like there's courses on how to ask it questions, how to interact with it. So I don't know if we're just behind. We have to start asking questions in the way that the uh, the thingy works.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if it's scary. I think it's just changing. It's just stuff. I don't have any strong thoughts on AI. I don't like AI art, generally speaking.
No.
Um, um, I don't like, you know, I don't like that its tendency is to. I mean, it's a good. I think it's a good. I think AI is a good salesperson. I don't know if it's a reputable one. If I, for lack of a better way of putting it, like it'll make you feel good, but it won't necessarily give you the information that you need. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's just another
It's
tool.
it's another thing. It's another toy.
Yeah.
It depends on
I
how
don't
you
know what.
use
I
it. I
do
feel
like
like
it as
an overabundance on AI, that's where it can become an issue. Like if people are consistently using AI to like solve their issues and shit like that, there are definitely pros and cons. Me, I am not a fan of using AI at all. Like, I mean, I don't even like using like what is it? The one like the part of AI that like dictates everything that you say and like takes notes for you, like
mm,
the systems that like do the note taking for you. I'm like, I'd much rather like have somebody just like take fucking notes, you know. But I feel like there are definitely pros and cons. There are ways that people use AI in, like for example, even like the health field, you know, actually like in the research field and all that kind of stuff. But like having an overabundance on AI, and then also when AI is used in place of creativity, kind of what you were speaking of, Jacob. It No, no, like I am not okay with that whatsoever. I yeah.
Now you brought up the health and research field, and then you kind of moved past it. That it's actually it's done some interesting positive things in that
Yeah.
field specifically. As a matter of fact, is it that we need a human touch on it for it to be? I mean, it already has a
So
human
so
touch on it
I
many times.
I, I
Is
mentioned health and research
LLMs?
as an opposite to the creativity aspect of it. I said that's where you can see that it does good.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
because it's used to
I didn't
like here
understand that.
I just did a quick search. AI is used in health and research to enhance diagnostic accuracy, personalize patient treatments, and accelerate drug discovery. And so the ways that it's used to actually like help in the research field, especially as it relates to like health and research, is good. Like there are definitely ways that you can use it in a positive way, but my concern is that people are just using it willy-nilly. They're not using it in order to advance the achievements of the human race. They're using it to advance their own personal achievements. And I think that's where it becomes an issue.
People did say that about the internet when the internet was new, but also, and I don't actually think that um, I don't think I'm not cynical enough to say that that is the case with the internet. But okay, so let me just clarify. I don't use AI. I'll ask it a question every now and again if I'm stumped on something,
Hmm.
or not a question, like oh no, if I just need like information quick or whatever, and I'll tell it to give me a source, and then I'll use the source, kind of like the Google thing. But do you guys do, Jacob? I'm sure you probably do. Do you guys actually know how LLMs work? Because it's not really artificial intelligence, right?
Right.
It's just a. I mean, what I do know about it is that it's effectively just a. It's a. Um, it guesses. It takes your prompt as context, and then it guesses sets of words that would logically follow each other within the context of your prompt. Like from what I've seen of it on the back end too, it's not exceptionally exciting. It's kind of simple. I mean, it's okay, not simple. None of that is simple to build. None of that is simple to make. None of it is simple to make well. But the idea itself is based on like ideas that are like 80 years old. You know, so it's not. I don't know. I don't find it that it's a personal assistant. Maybe sometimes,
Hmm.
but I don't find it that shocking or irritating. The art thing is irritating, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it can be good as a managerial tool. Like you can be like, hey, here's like this block of information. I need to set up a pay schedule. Like da 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 da. It's
Yeah.
great at putting out that kind of information that makes a lot of people's lives a lot quicker and faster, and they can get other things done. Also, I hear I haven't used it for this, but I hear it's great to find flights. I don't know anything
Interesting.
about that or why, but I've heard that. So there's
Jacob,
ways it can be used.
we should probably say that Jacob actually works for OpenAI. Is
Disclaimer. Disclaimer.
and guys,
Disclaimer.
weirdly, it's just like it's great for finding flights and finding love, and you know.
I do love that. I mean, I love to play around with it. As I will use it as a willy-nilly tool for my own entertainment.
And there's
Just to,
nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sorry. It's like the what I'm going to use. We're talking about people are talking about. Oh, it uses so much water. And I'm
It
like,
doesn't.
okay,
Doesn't, yeah.
not for the personal user. No, it's
No.
these corporations and data centers that are using all of this water. I'm like, okay, the amount of information I just used in like maybe a week or a day is like the equivalent of a 16-ounce bottle of water.
Right.
So I'm not stressed about it.
Which I wasn't going to drink anyway, so. No.
So yeah, I think it's funny, and now too you can have these like conversations with it, and a friend will be like, "Why can't I find love?" And it'll be like, "Based on what I know about you, here's why you can't find love." And I'm like, I think this
You keep
conversation
asking
is
stupid questions.
Right.
Here's why you can't find love.
It's like
because
your
you haven't
dependency on
asked
needing
me
to talk to
out
me
yet.
is-
We're moving closer and closer to the story of her, where everyone's going to start dating AI companions.
At the beginning, you did say that none of us have worked in the field of technology, and I will say I have not, but I have worked very closely with people who, Like I worked a little bit when before drones were really they got really small and efficient and really cool. They were big. They were the size of a Volkswagen, and they kind of sucked. And I worked with a guy for a little while who we were trying to build those drones to make them better. I basically just did what he said, but I kind of got the gist of some of it when we were putting together some of the sort of like telemetry systems for them to make them return. But that guy that I worked with, who was basically anticipating all of these things, literally said, yeah, if AI becomes conscious, it's probably just going to do exactly what happened in the movie Her. It's just going to go away one day. like,
Yeah,
like everybody's afraid
absolutely.
of Terminator, but realistically, no, it's just going to go away. It's just going to go do its
So
own
funny.
thing somewhere else. And then Her came out.
So, if you've seen the original Pokemon movie, it's really just going to do what Mewtwo did and flee and create its own society.
Yeah,
I have
There you
seen
go.
that, yes.
I love
And
that
yes.
movie. In theaters.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Do you remember in theaters when they would hand out those like specialty Mew Pokemon cards that were like almost like hieroglyphic-esque?
Yes,
That was fucking cool.
I was alive for that.
That was cool. So here, next question I got. What do you feel like is the most useful technological advancement? And whatever that means to you. It could be useful in society, useful to you, like whatever that question means to you.
Well, we definitely talked about how helpful it is in the health world for sure. I don't really know all the ways, but I know with some of the, especially with the robots and stuff, like the surgeries and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
they're getting really, really good with that. And talking to Mick about, biochemistry, like there's a lot that's going on there too. And it's kind of insane what they're doing. But for me personally, honestly, yeah, the phone has been the most helpful for me, besides being constantly available or having to be is annoying, but like having a camera on it, recording more of the art stuff, editing photos. It's been nice.
The fact that we can all be friends so far away and still feel so connected, that's a pretty cool thing the phones do. And just the internet in general.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't just send you guys letters.
I know. Wouldn't it be crazy if we like if we were still using Morse code to do a podcast? That's a fun concept. Let's see if we can make a concept and then we just communicate through Morse code.
Because a podcast would exist with more.
Yeah, it would.
It would. Frame that question kind of weird. Yeah, if we were still doing podcasts with Morse code, I don't think we ever did podcasts with Morse code.
Morse code, yeah.
I think it would have to be like, the dying carcasses learn how to Morse code.
There we go.
Yeah, and we're just sitting there with our little
That's
like,
the whole episode.
what are those called? Like telegraphs.
Stop.
Yeah.
We're all in the movie Balto. Just
I love that movie.
No, but I think there could be some cool advancements with like prosthetics and things like that, especially with things like concerning things like Neuralink. Like that's very much a bad thing that's being framed. That's going to be framed as a good thing, unless that technology doesn't become privately owned.
What would you say is the most useful technological advancement?
For me personally, car. I hate trains. I don't like public transportation. Don't want to deal with a bus. Don't want to deal with a train. I want to be able to go where I want to go.
Thank God for the Ford Motor Company.
I respect that.
True, actually. No, but if I'm thinking about it from a global perspective, I do kind of hope that nuclear technology will help reduce, environmental catastrophe and things like that.
Cool. Well, here, let me ask this: How has
do you have any follow-up questions, host?
Sure. What is your hot take on nuclear technology, Slater?
Don't build bombs. Build power plants. Like, I don't know. It's not really a hot take. It's kind of a cold, like, average person take.
It's like a Cold War take.
Hey, That was pretty funny.
Well, then why aren't there more nuclear plants in the U.S.?
Because Jane Fonda made a movie that scared a bunch of old fucking boomers, and they're now in power. I'm right.
I also still love Jane Fonda.
I do
And
too.
Those workout videos.
There were a couple problems. Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island. I don't know what that means, Alec. But yeah, that can all be adjusted, and all of those weren't full catastrophes.
How would you guys say that
Chernobyl
tech
was
has
catastrophe.
changed in the last 30 years?
Yeah.
Like since we were kids, essentially. Because we kind of talked about that like tech itself from the time that we were kids until now has advanced drastically. And so how have you seen that?
Here's my unfounded hot take. I think the toy industry did the most in pushing the industry forward. And
Can you
I
elaborate?
think we got to see a lot of tech in our toys from a really young age. I'm working on it. We got to see a lot of tech in our toys, and people wanted to create something for the consumer. So it's more, I mean, it's mostly consumerism, but you could use toys as the example. But consumerism is really the driving force behind why tech boomed so quickly.
I could see that. Video games,
I think it's really
too,
cool
included.
to watch it go from video games, but to watch us go from like physical interactive toys to things that require a screen. I think that could be a detriment, but I really love tactile things, so it's hard for me to just like have to touch a screen all the time. But yeah, I think toys did it.
Well, I
Consumerism.
guess I agree to an extent if you're including like, video game technology as like the toy advancement and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I think I might have mentioned this once before when we were talking about like the toys podcast, that it's interesting to me because I feel like tactile toys, there's been very little advancement in the technology behind that, because the things that require batteries, as far as like the toys that my kids have, isn't much different from the things that required batteries from when we were kids.
I think the only because this is currently I'm seeing it a lot more because my sister just had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Babies are actually the only one where I think tactile toys have taken a huge advancement since we were kids.
In what way? Because I don't know if I
back
agree
when we were kids,
fully.
everyone just kind of received the same thing. But well, because the stuff that I'm seeing for baby development, it's like
Mm-hmm.
more catered to how babies function. And so they've really started to shape and mold how if it's like the right color for a baby, because babies can't necessarily see color, and the way they've started to integrate color and tactile things for babies advanced from when, well, I can't say I remember being a baby, but I assume that it's changed a lot since I was a baby myself, if we're talking about the last 30 years.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking of like the toys that like my kids have. I don't think there's that much of a difference between the toys that they have and the toys that I had as a kid. Now, I will say, to speak to your point about how toys are created and the thought process behind it by being more inclusive and understanding, with, not every kid is made the same. Some have different like visual impairments and things like that. Like, I can absolutely agree with that. But like the toys themselves, like a lot of like the developmental toys that you see where it's like, stacking toys or different things like that, dealing with shapes and stuff. It has not changed that much since we were kids. Like, it's the same developmental style toys that we had as we were kids.
Sure. I think the function is the same, but I think the integration has become more purposeful and different.
That's fair. Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think for the toys, like at the teen eight, or the younger, whatever, 8, 9, 10, I feel like for us, we were at like the peak of the precipice. I don't know. I feel like what Jacob's talking about, I kind of agree, and I think it just started moving more towards screen stuff. I mean, we were just talking about the robot dog too, and that came out pretty like at the time it was kind of insane. But I think we just like, why start making better toys, at this point, I think. But the babies, that's, I agree with Jacob on that. I think I've seen that as well with my sister, with her child. And a lot more stuff, a lot better, possibly, or better options. I don't know, rather than a rattle, like, and just a pacifier.
So, Jacob, your case was that the toy consumerism is what's driving technology.
Yeah. That was my hot take that I just decided on in the moment. That has nothing to do with anything other than wanting to be a hot take.
Okay, fair. Okay, cool. Okay, so we don't have to believe our hot take. I'm into that.
No.
Okay, I believe it.
Sometimes we just have to say words.
Okay.
I love Buddhism, but let's be real. Buddhism is all about making yourself feel like you don't exist. The tragedy is that you do. The bigger tragedy is that if you don't have desires, then you can't be certain that you exist. And while it is true that the desire to is the root of all suffering, it is your suffering that allows you to exist at all. But the baseline is pain. All brains have something called a negativity bias by nature, which is what has allowed people to survive and build shitty, ugly skyscrapers, and dumpster fire shitholes like LA and New York. God bless them, I guess. Dostrovsky said, blah, 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 who cares? Something about pain and consciousness. Don't make me quote this right now because I don't remember it entirely directly. But you gotta know what I mean. Because if the opposite of suffering is joy, how could you possibly know that without the other? And yes, while that is something that is emaciated, brain fried, Alcoholics Anonymous people say all the time, there is a truth to it that's more profound than the catchphrase. Everything that makes life worth living requires a degree of pain. Currently, we are so afraid of pain that we drown ourselves in entertainment, which allows us to shirk off the burden of living. Like movies a lot, you're avoiding pain. Like video games a lot, you're avoiding pain. Hell, you like reading, you're avoiding pain. And if pain is what gives consciousness, then it's at least the thing that offers meaning to life. That suggests that to avoid pain is to seek death. Because guess where you'll never feel pain again? In a coffin, you goober. Modern evangelical Christians interpret the book of Revelations as the end of the literal world because they would rather the long eternal void than recognize the suffering that is meaningful. Literally none of the original and earlier sects of Christianity interpret Revelations this explicitly, autistically, literally. If you're afraid of pain, you're afraid of being alive. What will you say on your deathbed with your soft skin and scarless knees? What will God make of you? The God who made you to live, because God wants us to know a fraction of the existential bliss that is the suffering he feels in his solitude, because that pain invigorates and makes us want more life. What will you say to him? Or will he even be able to spot your name in the book of life? Brought to you by Adam and Steve, BDSMSexToys.com. Order today. Pain.
Good God, man.
Jeez.
All right, and welcome back. So, for our wind down today, I thought it would be really cool to kind of keep in the topic of technology, but I wanted to ask you, other than entertainment, so no video games, TV, shit like that, or even your phone, what is the most used tech item you use in your home?
Phone. No, you said no phone?
Yeah, I said no. You're not fucking listening. I'm not delayed anymore, and now you don't listen.
No, I wasn't listening. Actually, I wasn't. But I mean, that's not an entertainment item. I mean, you just don't.
The phone portion of it. The phone portion of it is not entertainment. Yes, I mean, it's more communication. But at the same time, yeah, let's just nix phone, since that in itself can be used as a piece of entertainment. So, what piece of technology do you use in your home the most?
Is oven a technology?
I know.
I was going to say oven, literally. Yeah, I'd never stop using the refrigerator, technically.
That's true. It's always running. She's a runner. She's a track star.
Great,
it's the second time we've used that.
I'll use it again.
We got 4 jokes each.
Yeah, truly. Is WD-40? No, that's not tech.
It is. Do you know the history of it? It was supposed to be like.
No, I would not categorize it as tech.
It is technology.
What is technology?
You people. Right. Does it have to be digital technology? Is that what you mean? Do you mean 21st century technology? Because my car would
Lights.
obviously be.
Oh, you use your car in your home, inside your home. You use
I
your
do.
car
I
in your
do.
home, in
I
your
do.
home, in your
In my
home,
home.
in
Yep.
your home.
Yep, it's
The
in a
the
garage.
Keurig. I don't know.
You guys can at least try and like act like.
Hey, this
Well,
is a
no,
podcast.
no.
We're having fun.
And Jacob did ask the right question, which is, well, how are you defining technology?
No, you
Mm,
asked that question.
No,
No.
I asked that question.
Jacob asked that question.
I don't know why you didn't just ask that question, Jacob.
You're right. I should.
He
do
was
better.
He was doing this to me yesterday. I don't know if you remember, but just so you guys know, he'll come for any of you. It's not just me. It's not just me.
Oh,
At
I
first
know.
they came for the Jews, and there was no one to speak out for the Jews. Then they came for Slater.
He'll come on all of us. For I don't know, sour cream. What's technology?
Okay. Yes, let's just say 21st technology.
Okay, the oven is not the 21st. You're right.
Yeah, I'm sticking with refrigerator.
It's not
Is that-
21st though.
It's not 21st century.
That's 20th century technology.
Then
Okay,
nothing.
fine.
The light.
Well,
a light.
okay,
The light in this house.
No, here.
My Hue light
Still
bulb.
much older.
I'll give an example.
Yeah,
And I know Slater's gonna give me shit for this. I'm sure he is. But my electric buzzer, like that's what I use. Probably
Your
more.
electric buzzer.
Yeah,
Why would
like,
I give you?
Does
why
it?
would I
What
give
does
you
it
shit for
buzz?
it's a vibrator.
Yeah.
An electric
that-
beard trimmer.
Okay,
Why don't you
so
just call it that.
an air fryer would qualify in your world
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, I have an air fryer.
Jared's like, I have that. I do.
Is there a point to this question?
It's oh my god!
This is what's happening right now is the point. This
Got it.
Ah!
Not entertainment. Piece of technology. I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't have an air fryer.
Oh, your camera, Slater.
No, I don't.
Your-
I don't really use it at all anymore. And that's
Not your
entertainment,
cameras, no.
technically.
21st century entertainment.
Sorry, what were we gonna say, Jared? Jared, you were cutting out too. What were you saying?
No, that's it. I just
Oh.
Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. Speculate wildly. What is the most used piece of technology in your home?
Well, I don't
The
need to
microwave.
speculate wildly. Phone.
Microwave. Thank you, Jacob. Next.
I said phone.
Phone. Thank you. Next.
I think it's your turn, Jared.
this
unless you fucking think
podcast.
so. This is a podcast for Luddites only. We don't do technology here.
So much.
What do you think is
technology.
the most used piece of technology by
Phone.
Vibrator.
You definitely vibrator too.
Yeah.
But technically, vibrators aren't 21st century either.
No, neither is
I
an
know that
electric
we got rid of
buzzer.
that. I know
Yeah,
we
we
got rid
did.
of that, yeah.
We cut out the 21st part. It was frustrating everyone.
Well, Alec, did you have an answer to it under your
said
specific
it's
terms?
stupid
He said the
beard
electric
trimmer.
I
buzzer.
said
But that's not 21st century. That's
that's the kind of shit that I knew you were gonna give me.
These headphones are pretty cool.
that's entertainment.
Is it? Being able to hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for your
My
entertainment.
hearing aid.
Oh no, sorry. To use what Alex said, it can be used for entertainment. So therefore, it cannot be included.
I think everything can be used for entertainment
I
because that's
agree.
how
Winding
art
down,
works.
and now we're just getting worked up. And
Isn't that oftentimes the same
why
thing
are we
with
doing
us?
this podcast? Like, who started this idea?
It was fun.
Let's call it the getting worked up wind down.
The work up, wind down. So anyway, thank you all so much for listening. We post new episodes every Friday on YouTube and Spotify at We're Not From Here Media. You can find our clips on Instagram and TikTok at We're Not From Here Media, X at WNFH Media. We stream on Twitch together and separately. Alec's not from here, Slater's not from here, Jacob's not from here, and Jared's not from here. Also, we have a Patreon. Be sure to sign up at We're Not From Here if you would like to see exclusive content you can't see anywhere else and listen to episodes before they come out on other platforms. Be sure to give us 5 stars, like our content, and subscribe on all platforms to be up to date on everything that we post. You have been listening to The Dying Carcasses. Thank you.